Well, boys, FRTs are in season, Taurus stock is up, and I'm here freezing my ass off as winter's coming here in the cinder pit with Adam. He was gracious enough to let me borrow yet another very cool gun. This is a Taurus TX22 with an FRT installed. Before we continue, I want to make a statement about this really quick. This is not a switch. This very much looks like every other switch you'd see on the gun, and this is also not the FRT that's inside of the platform. This is actually just a weight system. I'm gonna let Adam talk a little bit more about this because he knows a lot more about his own build than I do. Just for YouTube's sake and for anybody who's watching this that doesn't know, that is not a switch, it is a weight. The FRT is internally installed inside of the firearm. Compared to this nice Gucci build that we have, this is what you would normally get. Your standard TX22, these come in at about 300 bucks. It seems to be the running bit that I have two of every gun that I'm doing videos on, and that trend will continue. But here we have the compact model that you'd be buying off the shelf around about 200 bucks versus your longer full-size firearm. This is around about $3. Both of these have FRTs installed, as you've seen from the shooting clips. Both of these have Vortex Defenders installed on them, and we have here a Soundless Eco switchback. Magazines we're using are just standard 17-round TX22 magazines with the tandem cross extensions and upgraded springs. They worked great for us so far. I think we only had one magazine that had a failure, but again, we're filming out in a cinder pit. There's a lot of dirt. We've dropped these guns several times, and so these are kind of getting gunked up. We've had to clean them a couple times since we started filming anyway. How much carbon we got, Adam?
It's coming out. Little balls.
Balls, you say?
Carbon.
Now, as we're seeing FRTs becoming more and more popular, this is probably coming in at some of the cheapest fun that you can have. With the AR-15s, you're having a lot of new companies popping up, making their own versions of the FRTs, but not so many for platforms like this. We have some for other pistol platforms. Glocks have been, we've had switches for Glocks for I don't know how long now, but FRTs for Glocks, FRTs for MPs, and even though the redesigned V models of Glocks that are coming to shelves very soon here, they also already have their own FRTs. So to be fair, I'd rather go spend the money on 22 versus the amount of money that I would spend to have the same amount of fun on a 9mm or 5.56 platform, which would be tremendously more expensive when all we've done is just sit here and mag dump all day. I mean, how many mags do you think we went through, Adam? Probably.
I think we went through 600 rounds.
$40, yeah. I was sitting here blowing through magazines, went through 600 rounds for $40. As far as cheap fun goes, I think it's kind of hard to beat. I'm not a big fan of the poor guns. It's really hard to turn down the offer that is a not full auto 22. Woo! That was all A zones. Look at that. $300 gun with an FRT on it. And the only thing standing in between me and my femoral getting blasted by the gun on my chest is a single thumb safety. And because this is Adam's nice build, I'll go ahead and hand it over to him. We'll go ahead and run through everything on here and his experience with the guns so far. So it's my understanding that a lot of these builds have reliability issues. You were telling me before that most people can't run them suppressed. We're pretty much just using the stock TX22, maybe an optic on it, which even then is a bit of a problem too with the weight.
The first one I got was the Toro model, the full size. I actually originally had a Sig Romeo 0 on it, and the full length switchback on that didn't work at all. Slide bounce really badly. That seems to be the biggest problem with running these suppressed is slide bounce. Luke with Moonlight Machining makes the backplate, the weighted backplates for these, which is, he calls them the rate reducers. This is the Gen 2, but from my understanding, the Gen 1s will be no longer available. The Gen 2s have these wings on them, as you can see the brass there, and you can actually change them out with different materials to get the weight that works for your gun. The biggest thing with these is they're all very different between the competition, the compact, and the Toro as far as tuning them goes. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for these guns from what I've experienced.
And you were saying that most people were trying to suggest to tune the gun to, or the ammo to the gun that you're using.
Most people run every kind of ammo through it to see what it'll run. I personally disagree with that tactic because you're stuck on whatever you find. You better hope they have it. Now, what I did was found an ammo that is available regularly, cheap, and likes to cycle on the gun. And then I tuned the gun for that ammo. The ammo that I personally found to be the best for these guns is the CCI AR Tactical ammo. And the biggest reason for that is these Tauruses have a pretty steep feed ramp. So that being said, if you have any ammo that has a really soft projectile on the end, like the lead nose ones, or if it's short or a hollow point with a squared off tip, they have a really big tendency to failure to feed. Now, these ones have an extra long round, I'm not sure if you can see that, but they do have an extra long, very round projectile on it that these guns absolutely love to feed. So that was why I chose this ammo to tune my gun off of. It was the closest working right off the bat, and the gun loves to eat it. It's cheap, and it's readily available in my area.
The only issues that we had with the gun today, I think, had more to do with carbon fouling. It just getting dirty, getting dropped in the cinder. It was not, there weren't really any failure to feeds. I think a couple of stovepipes, but
Correct.
I was also limp wristing it a lot when I was trying to do dual wield. And also at the same time, kind of impressive that I am getting a 22 to stop firing because of a limp wrist. That's pretty impressive. I'm fucking up that bad.
Yeah, the optic is actually the new Vortex CCW, Defender CCW on the RCRC footprint. It weighs 1.30 ounces, and it is the heaviest optic you can throw on this gun without a plate. That's a direct fit that I found. It's a good optic, honestly, for the money. It does cost the same amount as the gun.
That's how optics go anyway, so.
Correct. The other biggest upgrade to this that I highly, highly recommend is the Tandem Cross Victory trigger. It's a flat trigger. It's adjustable on both sides. And I did put the lighter trigger spring in there. It's very smooth. Ethan shot it today. It's very crisp. And then you have the ability to adjust it exactly how you want it, which I found actually did help reliability with the FRT. The magazines from Tandem Cross, the +5s, we've been running those. They seem to be working fantastic. There's a small 3D printed insert that comes with them that goes on the follower. You may need to sand that down a little bit, I found. But after that, it works flawlessly. The springs are great. The spring is the biggest upgrade. And as far as running it suppressed, though, 22 ammo is a very dirty ammo.
Yeah.
Especially running it suppressed. Obviously, you saw we had to clean these in the middle of our time out here today just because, we shot.
And they'd been cleaned last night.
Correct. But we did shoot 600 rounds of 22 suppressed with a very high stick limit.
And this one, I think, got more abuse than the other one did, too. This one definitely looks cooler and fired better, so.
Correct. And this, too, the reason I put my switchback in the medium configuration is in the full configuration, it actually will not run currently. If I am able to add a little bit more weight to the back, it will. And Luke is currently manufacturing the heavier wings for it. I think I got the first set of brass wings. Do I have 3 times the cost of this gun if you don't count the suppressor invested into it? Hell yeah, I do. However, it is so much fun and so satisfying to be able to rip this suppressed. With no ears on, I just shoot this in my backyard. I shoot this out the back of my office at my shop. It's a great gun. And I do think it's worth investing into it, even though it is a cheap host.
Well, the buy-in price for the ammo that you're going to end up buying for this gun later, it doesn't even match the amount of money you would be spending on 9mm 5.56, like I said earlier.
Correct. Just what you're saving on ammo if this was a 5.56 or a 9mm. Well, let's compare it to the new Smith & Wesson FRT.
Yeah.
The ammo savings alone pays for all the upgrades, to be honest, over, I'd say, a year or two, depending on how much you shoot.
And I don't care that much about shooting 9mm over 22 just to have fun. End of the day, these are just range toys, and we're blasting trash. We're shooting pumpkins and paper targets, and I don't have anything to prove by shooting a 9mm.
I thought it would go without saying, these are not defensive guns. Do not carry these regularly.
No, they're the first person who does defend their home with an FRT at a TX22.
I'm going to say it's impossible, and I'd be stoked the day that justified shooting with this happens. Absolutely. Would I recommend it? No.
Yeah. It's like the amount of people that, like the amount of times that a NFA item is actually used in a defensive capacity and also in some sort of illicit capacity, and it almost never happened.
I did pick up this one, more or less, for shits and gigs, just to test out the compact model. What I did find with the unsuppressed, all I did was throw the dot on it, and this just runs everything. It just doesn't care. Through my process of trying to tune this gun, I started with trying to find the correct ammo for the gun. So I have a stupid amount of 22 at the house of all different brands, grains, and FPSs. So I bought this in order to be able, this doesn't care, it shoots everything. And I do say if you don't have the time or money to invest into tuning and you don't care about shooting suppressed, honestly, just buy the compact with the dot. It's I think one of the cheapest variants All I did was throw the FRT in there, and it works. It just simply works. They do get dirty, as we talked about before, but just lube them, keep them, clean them up after every range trip. These are not Glocks. Lots of tuning and money. This is simply a drop, just the FRT.
Stock.
And you saw it ran very well.
Well, thank you, Adam, for having me out here again at the range. And we did the Scar 15P video as well. I also had, honestly, I think I had more fun shooting this gun than I did the Scar. But, again, that's what we're out here for, just having fun.
Well, yeah, it's more fun when it's not $1 a shot or $2 a shot. Yeah. Thanks for coming, and glad you had fun.